Fagon James on the beat.
To get your information. To spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon.
That's right, folks. You tune into Spoon 107.5 FM. Also, you're listening to Fabric 101.1. We're also live on Spoon TV. Coming up shortly will be another edition of Spoon Talk for today, the 16th day of March 2023. James, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Diamond. And good evening, Honorable Fagon.
Good evening, guys. And it's great to see Diamond in the famous red shirt. Yesterday, we had the famous red handkerchief of your boss who intended to fire you. And as a way of begging him, James, you invited him to Poland.
I'm wearing this red shirt in solidarity and sympathy with Liverpool.
What do you care about Nazari? Why on a team needs for you coming to our poor team here?
Barcelona.
I blame you. We leading you 2-0. What didn't win low for again? Myself confused. You leading team 2-0. For you to sit down now and just close your gate, they gave you far. Then you go to the poor player, he said, I'm poor like Google play on the field so you can head in. Anyway, I had a live looking. Thank God, I don't even know James Good on a team. I think they say a team that Leska.
Barcelona as well.
Same Messi left, you still get team?
Yeah.
Of course. Who's stopping La Liga now with 9 points also? It's Barcelona. We still do have a team. Very formidable.
So where we are Madrid? We are Mame.
The second, trailing by 9 points.
You just 1 year from there, we are Madrid people there. Now the more you're picking the hassle. Me, I'm inside your team. I know all the Champions League. And I'm struggling to find my way to see if I will play that next year, sir. But we probably all the fees that they put in one I want, we can go bad. No problem. But anyway, it's good to be on the show tonight. It's good to be with you guys. Anything on the lineup for us today, Diamond?
Yeah, concerning trending issues here in Liberia, there are a few that I did pick to highlight tonight on the show. Yep. So the LNP, the Liberia National Police, they've issued, if you want to take it as a warning or a public service announcement, or whether or not to, sensitize and cautionize Liberians, the police have warned Liberians not to resist, the demands of armed robbers or thieves who might jump you or forcibly enter your home. Go by their demands. Don't jump on them. Don't fight with them. Don't engage in any attitude that might be seen as you are resisting. It might be detrimental for you. And this comes in the wake of what happened at the former Chief Justice home. So whether or not this announcement, or this caution from the LNP is in the wake of that, or the LNP just want Liberians to know that you don't have to fight, you just have to lay and take it, and once they get what they get, they will leave. There is a debate on whether or not that is what should be said, but if you look at it from a logical standpoint, if someone comes to your house to rob you and they've put you in a position where they've got authority or power over you, resisting might just lead them to inflict more harm on you. Not resisting as well, others have their own debate. So that's from the LNP. Also, at the University of Liberia, this brings us back to the 2011 election. This slogan, whether it will hold or it will not hold. So the president of the University of Liberia, Reverend Dr. Julius Nelson Jr., issued a special statement today, and thereby suspending politics on the University of Liberia campuses for a time indefinite. After what happened there on the rocket launch, situation that happened on Monday, the UL, whether this is a step in the right direction or it's a little too late, or they could have done something and be proactive, and what we saw couldn't have happened. But the UL have said all student politics on the campus is hereby suspended for time indefinite. Again, the question is whether it will hold or it will not hold, and if we'll be hearing from Soup anytime soon concerning that. All right, so the Liberian Senate has passed the controversial pension bill. This bill that seeks to give retired senators, president, vice president, and justices 50%, 50% of what they were earning, their salaries per annum, if they are retired. And this has raised the question as to what then is retirement, for a representative or a senator. Is it that when you're now re-elected and it's termed as you are retired, or are they going to look at the actual retirement age? So the debate has been centering around what exactly is retirement for an elected position. Today we had senators who voted yea and nay. I could just run through the list quickly. And this amount is going to be paid in equal monthly installments. So Senator Sir Joseph voted yes. Darius Dillon, no. Yombli Kanga Lawrence, no. Steve Zago, yes. Joseph Jala, yes. Jim Tonana, yes. Emmanuel Nukwe, yes. Francis Pay, yes. Milton Teji of Sino, yes. Augustine Chia, yes. Blebo Brown of Maryland, yes. James Binding abstained. Senator Viney Sherman, the main proponent of this bill, voted yes. Senator Simeon Taylor of Cape Mount also yes. Henrique Tokwa, Doctor of Bon County, abstained. Yumani Batikwa of Grand Cru County voted yes. Komine Wisa of River G abstained. Jonathan Boycha Sengbe of River G voted no. Boto Kane of Bapolu abstained. Senator Marshall Dennis of Grand Jita County also voted yes. We had Senator Jonathan Kapi, Edwin Melvin Snow, Senator Jeremiah Kuhn, Senator Prince Johnson, Senator Zoe Emmanuel Penum, Senator Prince Kamo Moy, Morris Setuna, Wellington G. Von Smith, and Daniel Nathan all were absent from session today. So they didn't vote. So my last trending issue for today. The US have said through their representative, their anti-corruption representative here in Liberia, who's in the country, they've said they are gathering more evidence, they're gathering more evidence to roll out more sanctions on corrupt officials. That's according to the U.S. Global Coordinator for Anti-Corruption, Richard Nephew. Right. So again, today at the Capitol, whilst all of these things were happening, there was no light. James, I don't know if you've seen the picture, the hallway there of the House of Representatives, as dark as darkness could be, and we have people using their personal generators to light up their offices. Well, so that's that for trending issues. Sadly, a Liberian woman passed away in Guinea. Her pictures are circulating on social media. They looking for her family and friends, and we're hoping and praying that family and friends can recognize her, though it's a tragic thing, but they need to get her from there and give her a decent burial. So those are trending issues from my end.
And according to social media, have they given a name?
Now, I haven't seen a name, so we're wondering whether or not there was ID on her. What can they use to put up a name? But I haven't seen a name, put to her. Yeah, but they want to use the picture that people might recognize her face, and then be able to contact family members as well.
I think I saw a release from the Ministry of Information that the Minister of Justice have ordered the Inspector General of Police to investigate the violence on the university campus and report to him the soonest. Are you aware of that, or what do you guys know so far?
Yeah, they issued that statement.
And that also the university president also ordered an independent investigation also.
Yeah.
As to what led to the violence. Are you guys aware of that?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, all my smoke on here. I got some of that smoke pipe leading all the way to Liberia.
Look at
wastewater in our pipe. The Nijit putting a bring all the news to me.
Look at that.
I'm telling you, Nijit put bring all it.
But we had an update to give you. We knew about them.
Oh, okay. If you want me to try, I can wastewater in the pipe right now, and I will bring one news out of that place quick. That you don't know about.
Maybe if you're a party CDC.
Then that makes two of us because you just joined recently. And I carry you there. Okay, so hopefully we anticipate we will have some what should I call it? Some surprises midway into our program. I'm looking forward to establishing contact with a former UPP executive, who is going to bring us up to speed on the UPP activities. There's a lot of disagreement there that they took the party. So you will see a lot of resignations, including his that has been finalized already. And then tomorrow we will talk to the brother of Daniel Cassell, Mr. Lawrence Cassell. We will be speaking with him on what has happened with their party. And some of you will be shocked at some of the revelations that are being made with respect to UPP and the PLP. And I'm hoping to get Jeremiah Wapo, the head of Volt, to make a contribution, as well as Ambassador McIntosh. These are 4 individuals that will be hopefully getting to in the coming days to tell us whether or not what we've heard from the coalition Democratic Change is true. But let us, while we wait for our fellow panelists, I got a series of things for us to discuss quickly. Number 1.
Yep.
This thing happened. You remember the riot took place on Monday?
Yeah.
And the statements as to the people going on the campus actually started on Thursday, was it? Of the week before. That they were going to go on a Monday to have lunch. But why did it take so long for the Minister of Justice to order an investigation, or the university president? You guys are young guys. You guys were students there, or are students there, or once upon a time went to school there. So like Leo can say, why are you talking to us, the young people? Well, young people, you tell us why it took so long for them to come to this point of an investigation. Dama, you have any idea?
Well, I can't speak to why it took so long, but I will speak to if it could have been prevented. And hence we wouldn't be here asking for an independent investigation to be done, or mandating the Ministry of Justice, to carry out an investigation. There were signs, as you said, there were pronouncements that were made. It wasn't an impromptu visit or something that just happened out of the blue. There were statements made calling on people to desist from that. And when we look at the statement from the university president on the same day, on the Sunday before what happened on Monday, he assured students that and faculty members that classes will go on as normal as things could be, and there wouldn't be any disturbances. When you make those kind of statements, there is a thinking that you've put mechanism in place to make sure that such wouldn't happen, So to see that the university president will assure students that, look, go on the campus, everything will be okay, and we expect our faculty and our staff to be there and classes will continue as normal, then the question is, did you put mechanism in place, or what assurances did you have, to come out and make such a statement, And then there was a build-up on the actual day. Was that time enough to disperse those people? There was time enough, Could they have called in the Liberian National Police? They don't give their exact strength in number, but we're looking at a force probably from 2,500 to 3,000 men. And if you actually want to clear that entire campus, you could have done it in a way that you would have saved what happened from happening. On the Sunday, the university president could have said, based on the tensions that are building and what we're seeing and what we're hearing, we've suspended classes for this Monday. And hence, we're calling on the LNP and law enforcement to, be there to man the campus. And anybody who's there, they're not there for academic activities, you can have them to leave the campus. That would have prevented anything. Now, when we look at Representative Gray getting to the university campus itself, he didn't appear there. He marched there. So if there was any conscious, effort in making sure that he didn't reach there, they could have done so, But again, did law enforcement decide that, okay, we do not want to do such, or we were acting on a mandate that we have not heard about? That is the question. So my thing is, it could have been prevented. There were steps that could have been taken to avoid all of what we saw on Monday. And at the end of the day, that's that.
You are muted, boss.
You guys are understand because you have been students there or former students in the most recent. This announcement of the suspension of student politics, good day.
Yeah.
You used to wear khaki. Tell us how far you think, if it's going to hold, like Diamond said, it will hold or it will not hold. Do you think it will hold?
Before coming to whether it will hold or it will not hold, let's look at what led to it will hold or it will not hold.
Right.
Representative Gray made his announcement on March 8th. On March 8th, he took to his social media account and announced that he was going on the University of Liberia main campus on March 13th to have lunch with students. And after that pronouncement, according to Gray, recently after the riot, or after his infamous visit, according to him, there were meetings. The university called him for closed-door meeting. In this meeting, they told him to back off, not to go there, but still he did not listen. The point was, he's not going there for riot. And he asked them, why will you be asking me to back off when the very students are inviting Yeke on that day? His claim is, after his pronouncement, SUP issued a statement, and they also invited Yeke publicly that Yeke should attend or should visit them on that day on March 13th. So his point was, the university should first talk to SUP to back off from inviting Yeke instead of just asking him to back off. He did not listen to the authority after they told him to back off. The public said he should back off. Some said go. Key actors in our society said he should back off. He did not back off. He invaded the campus with men wearing blacks. The invasion started with stone throwing. The LNP was right there. They saw Gray coming from
Total gas station.
Yeah, from Total gas station side. They saw him from distance. That they would. There were many ways that they would have prevented him from even passing the police headquarters when his coming was being televised on national platforms. They watched it from their control room at Central until he came. The National Security Agency also watched Gray when he picked up from his home. The joint security also watched Gray when he picked up from his home. When they knew that the invasion would have created a problem, they left watching Gray from his home until he reached on the University of Liberia campus. And
Right.
the police also got stood on that very day when Gray was entering the main campus because there were groups stooning each other, the students and Gray's supporters.
Yeah.
The police had to retrieve when Gray was coming because Damo earlier reported that the police was present at the University of Liberia main campus entrance. They were.
Right.
He said Damo reported earlier that they were stationed there when Damo started the broadcast that very moment.
8 officers.
Okay. 8 officers. Damo reported that they were present more than an hour before Gray even started coming. So they had time to call for backup to stop Gray. They did not. They encouraged Gray. They gave him way when they saw him. The police had to back up. They gave Gray and his men wearing masks a pathway to enter the University of Liberia campus, which was not peaceful. Gray entry was not peaceful. It came with a stone throwing. So the violence started the very moment Gray appeared on the campus. His men started stoning the students, and the students retaliated.
Yeah, because they had to clear the way for him to enter.
You had to clear the way. Nothing would make them enter smoothly. They had to clear the way. So Gray entered with stone throwing. Properties got damaged right on the spot when Gray was entering. Police vehicle had to retrieve in a very rough way. Police officers had to take cover for Gray to enter. Gray entered. Gray did what he could. The students who were there, they ran them out of the campus. They stood some of them got injured. They left. Some of Gray's supporters also got injured. They left, and Yeke came. Gray left. Yeke. Gray was leaving. He said Yeke is not a man to come here. And less than 10 minutes, Yeke arrived on the campus. So right there, the joint security. In fact, the joint security, let's forget about the police, the joint security or the justice minister had every power in his cluster to stop Gray from even leaving his home or from entering the campus. So calling for investigation, it was like this was a setup to say, Gray, go there and do it, and then we will use the situation to stop student politics. That's my own way of analyzing it. We will use your situation now to stop student politics because we will point to what happened, and that will be the national picture that we will send. So I believe that Soup will resist. Soup will resist because they said they should not even wear their khaki. You are not allowed to even wear khaki to pass around the University of Liberia campus or to even enter the fence. If you just wear a khaki or that cap, what again, where you wear any of them and enter the University of Liberia campus, you will be punished according to the university release.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, so Soup is going to, the first place they're going to violate, let's watch up tomorrow when Soup is going on that campus. You're still going to see our guys wearing their khaki. I hope we will also be there to see what they will do. They will be wearing their khaki. So Soup will now honor that. But the university will take measures, and that measure may likely disrupt classes for the next weeks or months on our university campus.
Wow. Honestly, based on what you've just said, corroborated by Diamond, that the officers were there all along. We've been talking here. I must tell you, I had no idea that many, the officers were about 8.
Yeah. Dama reported
right there.
Dama was the first to report that.
There were 8 officers on board a police pickup, the same police pickup that James mentioned, just opposite the University of Liberia, at the Capitol building side. We had 4 officers on board the vehicle. 2 were in a bucket, or if you want to call it the trunk, the bucket of the pickup. Right. And then we had 2 officers who were directing the traffic. But just a minor, correction. What happened was, prior to Akara's entering the University of Liberia, the stone throwing had already begun. Yes, the stone throwing began approximately 10 minutes to his entry.
To Gray's entry or Yeke entry?
No, Gray's entry.
Okay.
The stone throwing, began 10 minutes, approximately 10 minutes to his entry, because I was there. It was between the Prosa guys and the guys from Soup. So they
Okay,
engaged.
so let's get it straight for our audience
Yeah.
out there. The first battle ensued between pro-government group Prosa
Prosa.
and anti-government group Soup.
Yes. That was when the stone throwing began, And when I looked at it, and being a student of military science, and if you look at invasions and all of these that happen, I looked at it as if it was a clear-cut distraction that Soup members were lured into that, because they were in front of almost 10 feet or so from the gate, 10 to 20 feet from the gate. That was where they were barricaded. So when the stone throwing began, they had to turn and face the Prosa guys. So
Exactly.
meaning they are no longer defending the gate.
The gate.
Yeah. So once their attention were drawn already to throwing stones at the Prosa guys, that was when in about 5 or 10 minutes, Representative Gray and his guys
General Gray.
Yeah. And then Soup members were caught in the middle. They cannot run to the main gate because you have another group coming, and they cannot run, towards the student center side because you have the Prosa guys there. So they had to disperse and go in the opposite direction. So that was what happened. The student run already began before Representative Gray and his men entered the UL gate. So yeah, that was just a quick correction.
But today, Liberians saw something strange. Amidst the fact that Justice Minister is calling for investigation, University is calling for investigation, Yeka Koluba and Akaras Gray were joking, laughing, and making up.
Yeah.
Do you see the photograph?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yaka he had a press conference and he made some sort of clarification. During his press conference around 5 p.m. this evening, he said that Representative Gray had reached out to him that they needed to have done something, and they do work together when there is a need to. And he's now going to throw blows in the chamber of the House of Representatives. And if they have any disagreements or differences, they will settle it politically. That wouldn't stop them from working for whatever there is a common good. They're both lawmakers from Montserrat County, and the representatives within the 54th legislature. So if there is anything that they have to work on, we don't expect that they wouldn't work together. So he said,
James, we need that picture to go up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Viewers need to see it. So for me, how come they're trying to resolve their issues, but not helping to resolve the national issue that they've put us in? It's strange. But we'll wait for James to put it up. But we have to move to the next thing. LMP want look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at them making love in the hall. I mean, after people got their heads busted, their properties damaged, a lot of people injured, classes disrupted, university in turmoil, and the two of them kissing. Oh, the top photo, where is Gray mouth? Is it on your forehead?
No, he's looking straight into his face, but
I don't see space between the forehead.
No, there
and
is
the
a
face.
space.
Is the angle, Mr. Fagon, is the angle that you're looking at.
You're looking at.
I'm looking at the same angle. Okay, I can pass something in the space. Let's see it now.
That's funny.
The people kissing, the man kissing Yaka on his forehead say, help me do this kind of thing to the country. And I'm sure Yaka say, Yaka is laughing, say, why you stay there? Let me meet you there. It could have been worse. So what in your opinion you think they're doing? Yeah, what are they doing? For me, I see Gray kissing Yaka's forehead. But anyway, let's go to this one that Diamond talked about. LMP say armed robbers come to your place. If you are a woman and you're naked and they want to rape you, agree.
No.
Okay,
No.
then maybe. Okay,
No.
I'm just trying to paraphrase like, don't put up resistance. Let them do what they want to do or have what they want to have. Okay, then correct me now. Me, I know nothing.
But you leave it with me?
The people say, Damo, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's say the other power from there. The people say when the armed robber come to your house, don't put up resistance. Cooperate with them. Do what they ask you to do. Give them what they ask you for. They may look at somebody where if they say you found to NEPA, we will sleep. If they follow in the police advice, the woman got to lay down. Or a message on here.
Well,
it is that for
that's your example you can come up with.
That's
Mr.
the former
Fagon.
ball too.
I'm going by what Diamond said smartly. He said that raised a debate whether the police should have been the one telling people to do that. Those kind of information should come from civil society. But when it comes from the police, that is supposed to serve and protect and supposed to be strong, not telling the people, but saying, armed robbers, when we catch you, we go toe to toe, head to head, bullet for bullet, making the armed robber then scared. But you make this kind of statement, in my opinion, guys, you incentivize the armed robbers. You tell them, say, boy, you go. The people will just be waiting for you. So armed robber, in my opinion, guys, they will not even enter the house. They will just fire one bullet from outside and say, yeah, open the door, open the front door. And then the police say, when the police come, will do what they want to do. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think it should have come from the police, that advice. But you guys have your say.
Well, let me just have my say quickly on this, and then James can have his say. But as part of the duty of law enforcement is to protect lives and property, and protection also comes from preventing mayhem from happening. If you are a civilian like myself and you do not carry any sort of protection, we already have a country where we have arms embargo, and civilians cannot easily get access to weapon, to defend themselves. Now, in this case, the police are looking at it from, I'm not a police spokesperson. I'm only trying to take an opinionated, angle from this. But if you start to resist somebody who's got a weapon, the person will get more agitated. Their initial intent might be to rob you and leave. But if you aggravate the situation, it might lead to something more dangerous than what it is. Is it that you should roll over, and allow them do what they have to do? That's another question. But if you cannot overpower, it's rather you don't do anything silly. Because if you don't do anything silly, we all watch movies where robbers go to banks and all of these things. They tell you don't move, don't look up, don't look at me. Their intent is to get out, and not to get involved in anything of that sort, unless they've gone there to actually harm you, actually harm you. But if they've gone there to take something from you, they will just want to do what they have to do and go. But if you put up any sort of resistance that is not going to work at your advantage, then you will be in a serious trouble, because the person takes this as resistance. They take it as, okay, we have to do what we have to do for this to serve an example to you or to anybody else that never do this again. That's another thing. So probably the police looking at it from that angle, that if you do not resist, there is a higher probability that they might go without harming you, but there is no assurance that they wouldn't harm you. But if you resist, there is a higher probability that they will harm you, and they would have left like that. So that is just it. So, Mr. Fagon.
James, what do you think? I know you're looking at me like bad man, but me, I'm finna call the case.
No, from two points, your example is okay, but I look at it also as a way of telling people to take precaution, in another sense, as a way of giving a better pathway for armed robbers to
preserve your life. If you want to live, cooperate.
Yes, to do what they are good at doing, right?
True.
everybody know that everyone knows that when armed robbers attack you, you don't have weapon to resist. You don't have anything to resist them. So if you try to do, they either harm you or kill you. So the police doing this, I also believe that the police is just advising us that hey, we are not everywhere. Even in the great United States, you don't have police everywhere. The police is now at every home. It's, they are not able to do it. Then what more about Liberia, a country that has less than 10,000 police officers? So they are.
Why you go wait till 10,000? Where you tell that number from? Your whole army is there. Yeah, you can stretch people. What? 10,000.
A country that
Where you
has
get it from?
a country that has less than 10,000 police officers. So I believe that this is just an advice to everyone that hey, when these people come, you're doing. But again, this advice came at a time where armed robbers are on the increase.
Yeah.
We have guns everywhere. The
Yeah.
anti-justice minister, the last time appeared before the Liberian Senate, announced that.
Dama, don't go. You got to place a call for us, please. Very shortly, you got to place a call for us. Good Day will copy the number and the name of Mr. Roland Trober, former vice president of the UPP. He's coming in. He's expecting your call. He just told me he's set for your call. So, Diamond, if you're in studio, I know you went somewhere. I'll soon be going there too. Because James Goodepa, he can sit on the set. He don't even go to that small room. One time, say, I know you got tube side. Okay.
Yes. So I believe that
anyway.
the police is doing a good job to advise everyone to take the rightful measure. The anti-justice minister appeared the last time before the Liberian Senate announced that yes, there are guns in the street. Yes, he announced that there are guns in the street, and they don't know who are those that are having the guns. So nobody knows. Any of these people can come to your house at night. But again, making an announcement at this time, I think it was not timely, but it is okay.
But do you know that your current president are all policemen? You've heard him say that many times, right?
I don't know.
Yes, he's an old policeman, CRD guy, used to be to the telecom. I would get him to say that maybe this Sunday he would say, when he got on, he always says, look at that, our old CRD man, policeman, he was policeman. I hear him with I dare anybody to say that lie.
But you get in a record beside him saying
I said,
you went to the police, you investigated it to know what that.
Let anybody go interview, he will tell you he's an old police guy.
Yeah, so simpler, the police is telling you that don't resist armed robbers. And I would also love to join them to tell everybody, don't resist them. You resist them, they will kill you, or they will rape you, or harm you. I think don't resist them. Just even if, in fact, the first advice they will give you when you see armed robbers, don't try to
just
look
go
in
ahead.
their faces.
Go ahead, I come in one
Yeah, don't try to look in their faces. Always try to take a cover that you will not look into their faces. Maybe when you look into their faces, you're going to see somebody that you will recognize and they will not let you go. So anytime you see them at their home, try to, be respectful to them. Yeah, because you don't do it, you lose your life. You do it, you live, they take your materials, your money, everything they carry. You will still get some tomorrow. But you want to ally, the hero, they kill you. God forbid they kill you. You're not going to come back and hey, you will not get anything. So you see them, just do what the police say, and you'll be okay. But I believe that it is not timely, but it is a very 100% good advice that they are giving to the public.
Here is what I think. My take on it is this. And when I was there, Pachesuru used to call me Sergeant. 102 used to call me Sergeant. And so, can you push that number to Diamond so that Diamond can place the call to Honorable Roland Trober? I hope I got the name right. But I will advise Liberian communities. Every day, I think they say community leaders, right? I think it's time for them to mobilize the community watch teams. Community watch teams have been very effective. If they can do that, I'm not saying they will stop crime, but I'm definitely saying that they will minimize substantially armed robbery in the country. If they can do that. I'm hoping that James can forward the number to you so that you can place the call. Has he done that? I want to skip quickly before we come to the controversial pension issue and allow our Liberian people to exercise the right on their own station to be heard. It's 4:41. Has he pushed it to you, Diamond?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, then I would like for you to go quickly. I only want to spend about 5 minutes with him. I would like for you to take a pen or dial this number. I don't think it's appropriate to put his number out here. Are you in the chat room?
No, just give it to James and he will send it my way.
I've done that in the chat room. Apparently, a good day. It's in our discussion chat room.
Yeah, please. Come in. You did it now. Let me check.
It's there. It's in the chat room right now. Discussion.
Okay. Okay, I get it. I sent it to Dama. Right.
And so Dama placed the call. Please. We're working hard for the people. But yeah, I think people should.
Yeah, Dama is in the spoon chat room.
Yeah, people should establish the community watch teams, James. It's very effective at stopping those guys.
I don't know. The last time we had community watch team, but maybe I'm not getting it right. You were minister at the time. Maybe I'm not getting it right. You were minister at the time. I think the post stopped to it, but I'll try to confirm it.
The post stopped to it because a lot of the armed robbers were being killed, but in the process,
yeah, the post stopped to it.
Innocent people who had gone into communities at night to look for the same thing Damon and Kulere can go look for were getting killed. And so it became a problem.
Yeah.
You know, it became a problem. And so the government had to say, look, if you catch the people, call us. We are the professionals. But then the people were saying, when we gave them to you, you let them back out, they come back to us. Yeah. So if we catch them, that's where the word came in first flight, remember? Do you have him on the line?
Yes, we do.
All right, folks, we have the Honorable Roland Truber, former vice chairman of the United People's Party. Honorable Truber, we've been hearing that the UPP joined the CDC, and we wanted to get to you. We were hearing that a lot of you, current and past executives of the party, have decided that enough is enough. Many of you will not support such. Where are you on this?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Fagon. And I'd like to say good evening to your colleagues on the panel of whom, and also to Liberian in the diaspora, and all of Liberian back home under the sound of my voice. And before I start this interview, I will ask all Liberians to go out there beginning the 20th of March to register to vote. The only trump card we have to get rid of this nightmare is when you have your voter's registration card. And the only way to do that is to get out there beginning the 20th of March and be registered and be a voter. Thank you.
So tell us your full name and your position, past or current, and what you're doing right now.
Okay, I am Lasancier Roland S. Truber, former vice chair for political affairs of the United People's Party, a founding member of the United People's Party. I didn't join the United People's Party. I helped to form it. 38 years of political activity in Liberia.
So tell us, we heard news of this party that you helped to found, and somehow today they are part of the ruling coalition that your party criticized. Can you tell us what's going on?
Can you come back with that question, please?
I'm saying, tell us, after 38 years with your party, the party have been very critical of the coalition for democratic change government. All of a sudden, your party is in marriage with the coalition. What's going on? Bring us up to speed, please.
Well, Honorable Fagon, politics is not dynamic. It's not static, it's dynamic. But the dynamism should not be at the detriment of the people you stand for. Over the years, we have fought for social justice in this country. And as you all will be aware, we fought for multi-party democracy in this country. Our founding father, peace be to his ashes, Gabriel Bagus Matthews, and the rest of the folks risked their life to bring about what all of us enjoy today. Before the ousting of the two-party government, we are aware that you, as a Topa, as a Slante, as a Nya, as a say, will not be a representative in this country, lest I say president. But today, all of us enjoy that. So, we have been collaborating with government because we want to keep this place peaceful. But to go to bed with a government that doesn't respect the rules of law, the government that doesn't respect human rights, with all of these extreme death in the country, massive corruption, and all have you, we cannot be aligning with such a party. This is why some of us have said, no, this is not what we started the struggle for. The CDC is the government for today, but with all of what is going on, we cannot go into a marriage with the CDC. Our folks did not listen to us, though they have, let me make the record straight. They have the authority as executive committee members of the United People's Party to enter, to have discussion, to enter in the agreement. But for expediency, they should come back to the larger group of the party and explain to them, this is where we want to go, and this is why we want to go where we want to go. Because at the end of the day, these are the people you depend on. And the CDC, I don't know what is running into the minds of the CDC. You take a 6 person, sit down somewhere, and 9 of our executive members are the one who voted for that collaboration. The rest of the guys did not vote. They said that the 9 that will go around the country to campaign or to vote for the CDC, that is not doubt. So we have said no, unless it's done properly, we will not be part of this kind of situation, and we will never go into such a marriage with such a group called the CDC.
Let me ask you this. I heard you have resigned from the UPP. Is that true?
You mean?
Have you actually resigned from the UPP?
What I've heard from the UPP?
Whether you've resigned.
Uncle Fagon, like I told you, I formed this party. I cannot leave what I started with my sweat and blood, folks. A lot of my comrades died in the process. I cannot leave it to other people. Let me give you this analogy. You have this house left with you by your father. You and your siblings are in the house. All of a sudden, they are mistreating your house. The house is dirty, it's leaking. And the best thing for you to do is to get angry and pull out of the house and leave the house with them. What do you think will happen? The house will break down. So I have never and will never resign from the United People's Party. I am still a member of the United People's Party. We will fight to straighten what is happening in the UPP. We will do our best to bring the rest of the folks to their senses, and the right thing will be done.
So are you alone in the struggle? Are you by yourself, or you got other colleagues, other compatriots in the party that have decided to work with you?
The best brains of the United People's Party are with me. And by tomorrow, we will be coming up with a press release. I think I will send you a copy of that press release. And it will be aired over all the stations in the country.
Who are some of those working with you? What has been their past or current positions?
Well, you have people, even people on the very executive committee that will speak up are with me because they disagree with the decision. I don't want to call people, and when I send you the press release tomorrow, you will see the names of those who are in disagreement with this decision.
And so, if they don't do what you people ask them to do, what would be the course of action from your end?
Well, the course of action is because they've been elected for 3 years. So, as law-abiding people, we give them the benefit of the doubt. What we will do is that those of us who are of like minds, we have already decided where we want to go and how we want to go and when we want to go. What we're trying to do is to ensure that our people are not discouraged. Like we said, in the shortest possible time, maybe tomorrow through that press release, our people will get to know. If we don't say exactly where, in the shortest possible time, we will inform our people where we are going and where we want them to go with us.
And so finally, what would you say to the group that took the party, that ran away with the party and took the party to the coalition? What final words do you have for them?
Well, I just want to caution them that, as is often said, what is not done right is not done at all. They know that what they've done is against the larger majority of the party, and they're not going to get anything what they're doing, because at the end of the day, the CDC is just going to use them as a pawn. The CDC will not even trust them because they know they don't have the numbers. So I think, like I'm hearing from the grapevine, that they have not signed any document. But I gave you news, breaking news, Honorable Fagon. Even within their camp, I was just told this evening that fire is in the hole. But I yet have to confirm that. Because
okay, so
they are not doing it on the right path, so they're going to have it very difficult. I just assure them that they should be careful, because a lot of people lost their life for this noble party. And to drag it in the mud is not the appropriate thing to do.
well,
Minister
thank
Fagon,
you.
can I ask you one question?
Yeah, go ahead. James has a question for you before we let you go.
Hello?
Hello, yeah.
You earlier said you will not name people until the press statement come out. If you believe that these people are standing with you and they did not agree with the decision that their colleagues took, why you cannot reveal their names now ahead of the press statement, so the public will believe you more even before you come out with your official statement?
Okay, I know that these people just let me clear your doubt. Okay, people like myself, Lasanche Roland Troubert, you have Comrade Edmond Pompon, you have Charles Dennis, you have Comrade Professor Tete, and the list goes on. Comrade Robert Warney. These are all founding members of the United People's Party who don't agree with this decision.
What about Winto, Mr. Winto? We're hearing one Mr. Winto.
Yes, I have not confirmed that, but I heard and I spoke with someone reliable that our former standard bearer, Honorable Winto, has resigned from the party. And again, our only representative at the House of Representatives at the House has resigned from the party.
What's his name?
Dr. George Boley.
Wow.
So you can see what is happening to the party already because of this decision, unilateral decision by our executive committee.
Who are the 2 senior or 3 senior persons that took the party to the CDC?
Well, during our Congress, this is Susanna Lopu Matos Seaton was elected chairman of the United People's Party. Aaron Jutonu Latte was elected Secretary General, and then one Mohammed Suni was elected vice chairman for administration and so forth and so on.
So that means that legally they did the right thing. They meet the constitutional standing of your party to take the party to another coalition, right?
He wants you to repeat the question, James.
I'm asking if the executive committee, majority in the executive committee voted and they agreed to join the CDC, it means that they did not violate any law. They went by the Constitution, right?
Okay, let me answer your question in this way. You know, James, what is legal is not expedient, and what is expedient is not legal. They have all right, authority under our Constitution to negotiate on our behalf as the executive committee. But for expediency, because this is an election process, a political party in an election is a number game. So to be making this kind of decision, you will make sure it is a holistic decision.
No, I come in, sir. Please allow me to interrupt you a bit. What is the constitutional guideline of the executive committee voting to take a decision within your party? How many persons in the executive committee have to agree before a decision is reached?
The simple majority of the executive committee can agree to make a decision. I think you heard what I said.
Okay.
During our Congress, after every Congress, the Congress come out with resolutions. And in the resolution, it was clear that they should discuss, meet up with other political parties and have a discussion on our behalf. Okay. But what we say is that this decision should have been the majority decision, since it is committing the institution to another institution, especially an institution that has already been tainted. Why you want to share the thing?
Minister Fagon, can I still continue?
Yeah, I'll clear your doubt.
Oh, okay, sir. Please, I'm a bit confused. You agreed in your past event or your past meeting that they should negotiate with political parties, excluding the CDC?
Pardon me?
Did you agree that they should negotiate with other political parties, excluding the CDC or including the CDC?
Including every political party in the Republic of Liberia. What we are saying is to come up with such a decision should have been a decision sanctioned by the majority. That's what we're saying. Because at the end of the day, it is a number game. But if you go to negotiate with the CDC, what do you negotiate from? You negotiate from the power of strength. In a political arrangement, you negotiate from the power of strength. When the CDC asks you, what do you have on the table? These are our members. You can only be powerful when you have the people behind you. That's what we're saying. If not, the CDC is just going to kick us around. If the CDC could kick parties like the National Patriotic Party and the LPDP, what do you think of us? That's what we're saying.
Okay. Having said that, we want to thank you for the contribution.
Thank you.
Any final words to your fellow partisans out there that are discouraged?
I didn't hear your last statement.
Any final word to your partisans out there that are discouraged or just feeling bad as a result of the decision?
Well, all I continue to tell them is that all is not lost. They should not be discouraged. As is usually said, discouragement should not mean disappointment. Disappointment should not mean discouragement. There is still light at the end of the tunnel. In the shortest possible time, we will lead the way for them to prosperity. Thank you, and have a God bless blessed day. And not forgetting, all Liberians, get out there on the 20th of March, register, because that's the only trump card you have. That is your license to voting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Hopefully, I will get the leader of Volt on the line. Maybe we'll see what to do. But guys, you listen to him. You guys are working with me today because the others are running helter-skelter somewhere, doing some job or something, a busy schedule or what have you. Let me go to Dharma since Dharma, did you listen to him?
Yeah, I did listen to him keenly. Hence, I didn't ask any questions because I wanted to get everything he was saying to be able to come up with my own analysis.
Okay. So what will be your analysis?
Well, from the way he spoke and what he said, being a founding member and a former executive, the question is, does he wield any sort of leverage in the party? You know, because he did say politics is a game of numbers, and he also said that majority of the executive members, you know, should have voted to go to the CDC, but they had told their executive committee to negotiate with parties. So if for any reason you felt, or you guys have anything that you don't want to go along with the CDC, you should have said negotiate with other political parties aside the CDC. But if you leave it as opened and they went and had a negotiation with the CDC and it yielded into what it yielded to, then the question is, what could have been done by then? But he's saying he has got former executive members behind him. But on the overall, how politically strong is the UPP in itself? You know, how politically strong is the UPP in itself? He made mention of the fact that if the CDC can treat the NPP and the LPDP the way they've treated them, what much more the UPP? So he has already admitted that the UPP doesn't have the strength and the number, you know, like the NPP and the LPDP. So this is only going to affect the small number that they have. Because if you have former executives saying we are going one side and current executive members saying we are going this side, who has got control of the party right now is definitely the current executive committee. And if they were able to have wielded power to be elected, meaning they still do have that political base that they can rely on. So if you go into the CDC and the CDC says, okay, we're looking at who to work along with, they will want to work with the current people who have the power rather than former executives. Some former executives might be powerful, but you always look for who's got the control, and that is that. So the UPP is not going to be good for the party in itself, because once the party is fragmented, meaning the votes are definitely going to be divided.
James, before you come in, I'm going to push a number to you for Dr. Jeremiah Wapo, the political leader of Volt, who was said to have been in negotiations and moving to the CDC. I just spoke with him. We're going to get him on the line to give his side of the story and tell us what's obtaining. You see, only 3 hours got beautiful show. I think we should have black the other people.
Yeah.
James, what do you make of his statements?
Yes, I listened to him. My major point that I wanted to get something clear was when he talked about the process the guys took to join the CDC, and he made it clear. I think they did not do any wrong. They gave them the power to say, go ahead and negotiate. That is why I asked, excluding the CDC or including the CDC. And he said, with all the political parties in Liberia, if you knew that the CDC did not treat, oh, okay, I thought you sent a number. The CDC did not treat.
I did send it. I did send it in the, sorry. Go ahead.
You not send that number to a different person. I know who you sending to.
I did. I man. You laugh at me.
If the
You think people
CDC did
listening
not
to
treat
you.
the NPP in their first collaboration the right way, you saw it before going for your mini convention. Why did you agree in your convention that yes, go ahead and negotiate with all political parties in Liberia? I think they should have instructed the executive committee or the special committee that was set up to do the negotiation to say what we saw yesterday with the other parties that joined the CDC. Don't negotiate with CDC like that. There was going to be an escape route to say we told them not to negotiate with the CDC.
Or maybe even if you negotiate, come back and tell us. Don't take a decision.
Yes. Or when you negotiating with the CDC, no, exclude them because you already have problem with them, right? You already have problem with them. So exclude them from the entire discussion to say don't negotiate with the CDC because they have a history of ill-treating other political parties. So you cannot go and give me authorization to go and speak to Diamond and speak to Diamond, Joseph, Moluba, Kebe, and after my discussion, when I come back, you say, why did you talk to Kebe? You already told me to negotiate with everybody. And I believe that Kebe is the best person I can move with, to work with. So I don't think they have any point there. The point number one against them. And again, you're talking about former executive committee. I know in political parties, people who have the responsibility to take decisions that will take the party to certain point or certain location are executive committees, not former executive committee members. Former executive committee members, at times, they are on advisory board. They will put you on advisory board, like, when they need advice, they call you in. If the executive committees took, if majority of the executive committees took that decision to join the CDC, what if the former executive committee members have to fry in this entire something to say, don't go there? Do you have the authority to stop the executive committee, the majority decision? Do you have that power? Again, let's wait to see their press statement tomorrow. Because I think I heard him, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard him saying, even those who took the decision, some of them are now happy. So let's wait until they come up with that.
All
Yeah,
right,
just
thank you.
Mr. Fagon, this is unconfirmed, but a source just sent me a message that the reason we're hearing all of this is some people feel disenchanted. Something was supposed to change hand, and it didn't change hand as it was supposed to, and hence we're hearing all of this. But they
not come back with it
were
supposed
all
to,
in favor of party being aligned with the CDC. So that again, as I said, is not confirmed, but it's just something from the grapevine that something was supposed to have happened to make everybody feel somewhat happy, and it didn't happen that way. So another group is seeing it as an opportunity to gather whatever forces they have and take it to the other side where they can stand to benefit. But as Jim said, we can wait to yet and see their press release tomorrow and then see how significant that is going to be. Because my thing is, it's not just about having parties behind you. We have 13 parties, we have 15, we have 17 parties, in a grand coalition or a grand alliance. What do they bring to the table when it comes to the numbers? That is the key thing. Because if you have 5 political parties with only 3% of the vote, and you have 2 that can bring you 68% of the votes, what's the essence of having 35? So, that is that when you look at our political landscape, many of these parties, they go into these agreements to secure jobs, to be significant when it comes to the negotiation process. Then their members and top-ranking officials can be given some, some leverage or some job at the end of the day. So it's not really about wanting to amount to power, but it's more of wanting to be a stakeholder and a decision maker once these decisions are to be made. So that's just that.
Okay, James, I believe you've pushed Dr. Jeremiah Waffle.
Yeah, Damo has the number now.
Leader of the Vote Party, Voice of Liberian Transformation. He should be joining us shortly. And I'm sure Damo is placing the call to him. But one thing here, we heard about MOVE. And what happened with Move is that the 30,000 got missing. So we know
Family
now.
money, 30,000 family money.
He said
So
our
Wait,
family
wait.
money.
family money that was in his car.
But here is the thing. Then all you guys say, what Chiefs laughing for?
Nothing.
Nobody went to ask the man, okay, you said our family money, no problem. But your money got missing, so as officers, we're here to help investigate. When did you withdraw this money? Where did you withdraw it from? What
Let's
bank?
go check it.
Yeah. That's why what the American ambassador said the other day, and I was like, we are here, these people don't tell us anything. So where they got to the 30,000 from, put it in coat pocket and put it in car.
Yeah. Who does that?
Who take, my man? Okay, Dino, I think you got Dr. Jeremiah Wapo on the line.
Yeah.
Dr. Wapo, good evening.
Yes, Dr. Wapo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good evening, sir. How are you this evening?
So, Dr. Wapo, you need to get a listening device so that you can hear the panelists. You on the line? Yeah. So once you do that, please just shoot me a text and I'll call you back, please. Thank you.
Like a radio or something?
All right. All right. So you can go ahead, Mr. Fagon.
Okay. So he needs a listening device?
He says he's listening now.
Okay. So if he's on, then I'll go ahead with the question, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Wapo, welcome to Spoon Talk. How are you doing, sir?
I'm listening.
Yeah, so Dr. Wapo, there will be a bit of a delay because you're watching it live. So there will be a bit of a delay. So you can just follow up from there. Mr. Fagon, he's not listening in real time. There's a bit of delay.
I'm doing terrific. On the Fagon, I'm doing terrific.
Very well, very well. So we heard rumors of your party transitioning to become a side chick to the Coalition for Democratic Change. The rumor became strong. As a matter of fact, some of the executives announced your party. What sayest thou in connection with that? I'm not sure we're getting him the way we got.
Well, I think the people who heard, I think they were having nightmare. We cannot be side check to any political party. We are independent political party. We are strong. We are not broke. We are not suffering political party. And we register our political party to take a leadership in Liberia, to lead the Liberian people to the land of hope.
Go ahead, sir.
Dr. Wapo, can you do us the favor of listening via a radio that will be in real time so that we can have the delay in your response?
No, I don't have radio here right now.
But I can give you the question and you repeat it to him, Diamond, since you can hear me in real time.
All right.
As I was saying, our political party continues to remain strong. Look, even if I can die 1,500 times and come back, our political party will never support CDC. On a no condition, the CDC is the party to join them before they win election in Liberia. That means that they will never will they win election in Liberia.
Damo, ask him as to what is obtaining in his party right now. What direction are they looking?
So what direction are you looking at as a political party when it comes to aligning yourselves with any of the bigger political parties contesting this election, Dr. Wapo? Which side are you headed to?
He's still on the line?
We're not getting him. Is Diamond frozen? I think Diamond is frozen.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Diamond? All right, let me take him off and bring him back. Yeah, I think Diamond has some technical problem. Diamond will rejoin us.
Okay, as we wait for Diamond, let me welcome Dr. Francine Chinowit Richardson. As you see her name, as always, she brings her smiles to the platform. And Wazi don't smile, and we understand why. Because when two Loma people meet, something can happen. We don't know what happened in the spiritual realm. And, yeah. But let me also welcome the Honorable Samuel Wozi, former Assistant Minister for Information Services. Welcome, guys, to the Spoon Talk. Dr. Richardson.
Yes.
Let me put you on the spot before I ask you the question relative to what you just heard with your own ears. Man, where you coming from? You who can go 6 o'clock. Look at the time you coming 5:17. What did happen today?
You taking Mr. Richardson place, huh?
You are doing what in the Mr. Richardson place?
I say, are you taking Mr. Richardson place to be asking me what place I'm coming from?
Now he tell me to ask you, man.
Actually, I have to share with you. I have a job, a full-time job, and every now and then the university requires me to be there for a meeting. And today we have faculty meeting and departmental meeting. And yes, and it was really fruitful. We get to assess the university and find out where it is, and then they have to speak to us to tell us the trajectory of the university. So that's why I'm late today. And good news. And I also have a good news. I was involved in a conversation with my colleague. I'm doing a study in Liberia relating to women and rape. And I have to apply for RERB, which is Ethics and Review Board. They kind of give me feedback. They think that they have an urgent care, like everywhere. You know, we have urgent care. So
yeah.
What happens if you ask this women about rape and they start to get emotional and decompensate on you? What are you going to do? I told them I was going to send them to JFK, but they didn't understand that. So they offered for me to establish a telehealth center in the United States for women who might be experiencing emotional decline when I asked them about rape, so they can call here and I will have a student center set up. So that was a good meeting.
Oh, wow.
It's not.
So while your university doing that, I look at good day clapping. I won't say they investigating what happened ever since last Thursday.
You know, and that brings us to a great point. I thought about that. I was listening to the show on the way, and I saw some of the press releases. They said they were investigating, suspended the students, and I think the Justice Ministry asked that a report be made to him to investigate what happened. Of course, we know it's a day later, $1 short, right? We know that.
Right.
Second thing is, why are they just mentioning the students? We saw the university campus gate being open, right? Don't they have like staff members to give orders in terms of the safety of the university? I think everybody should play a role in this investigation here, or everybody should play a role in this, not only suspending the students, but everybody should be reprimanded in some way or the other.
All right, we're going to come to that. Samuel Wozi, welcome. Let me welcome Al Hussein UJ Vadiga. He's just joining us. Welcome. Before I bring you two guys in, let me just, if you are not following the show, we had the leader, the former vice chair of the UPP, come up here and say that what they saw going to CDC is not what they intended or wanted to have happen. Therefore, they will be issuing the press statement tomorrow, and it's more or less distancing themselves from the whole saga. The leader of the Voice of Liberia Transformation just left the line and said if he was to die 1,500 times, his party will never join the CDC, ever. They got no business with them. Having said that, I brought Dr. Francine in on the issue of the students. We'll revisit that shortly. But Dr. Francine,
Yes.
you heard what he said. Now there are two parties saying we're not going that route. What are your thoughts? Is the CDC desperate for parties to the point where they are lying on political parties, or just grabbing any party now that we see the NPP and the LPDP have got challenges with NEC and possibly a code action?
It surprises me for a party who tend to claim that they have the country at heart, and they also have a lot of supporters, and they will be going to these parties, these smaller parties, and sometimes I understand money was exchanged for them to get their support. We are seeing some of the leaders of these parties. I think we heard one or two of them on the phone saying that they would die 1,000 times before they align with the CDC. So it suggests to me that they are desperate. There's trouble in their camp, and because the record that they have, I heard this. I think it was one of the first guy that you guys had on the phone. I forgot the one who asked everybody to go out to vote.
Roland Trubert.
Yeah, Roland Trubert. He was saying that the CDC, under their leadership, they have poor security. Under their leadership, we see the economy went bad. Under their leadership, we see the justice system is not quite working. And so, why would anybody look at the record that they have and want to align with that party? And that was the question you was asking, and I'm also asking that question too.
Well, having said that, we're getting reports from our live feed that the Spoon radio is off. I'm sure James is going in the back to check and find out why our radio station is off. One or two of them maybe is off. James, when you get that information, please feed us with a response.
Yeah, well, we are facing technical problem. It's from us.
Okay, is it with one or two of the radio stations or just us?
The stations.
Okay, all of them or just one or two of them?
The stations.
Okay, the stations. The Mempo has there. All right, let me welcome Honorable Samuel Wozie, who himself is a student of politics. Honorable Wozie, you heard the two distinguished gentlemen from UPP and vote. Owing to what is going on now, what are your thoughts?
Well, at this point, all I can say is that I'm embarrassed, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about what we're hearing, because I said it from the get-go. By the time I saw the program on the various social media platforms, the TV stations online. Look, I said it from the beginning that these parties are small parties. The biggest problem to our party is ourselves. The CDC has got a big base. The major issue that is confronting the CDC as an institution is this art of disrespecting their own, abandoning their own, and underestimating the power of their own base. So we kind of put ourselves in a position that make people think that we are desperate, like what Dr. Francine, the word she always used to describe our current state as an institution, as a desperate institution. But the real fact is that those parties are what I call insignificant political parties who don't have the number, and
I hold you right there. If you say they are insignificant, why are your people chasing them?
That's the thing about it, and now that's what I'm coming to. So when you say these parties join us, and you were all celebrating, licking your mouth and moving all around and delivering speeches, imagine raising all our best battle cries just for 1.8% political parties. When you have the LPDP is able to, on its own as a party, as a constituent member of the coalition, bring on board at least 20.5% vote, which is by far higher than all those parties. So what does that speak to? Our decision to take on a dismissive posture towards those who supported us is now causing us problems. Now, when you Look at some of your best political field marshals and denigrate them in the open and turn your back on them and make them scones of mockery. Then you will have to then celebrate anything that comes to you. And that's where we find ourselves now. So I think it's unfortunate, and there is a need for an institutional thing on the issue. We as a party, we
30
have
seconds.
to go back. We have to go back to our think tank and review our strategy, because as I stated from the beginning, that the biggest threat to our 2023 victory is ourselves. We should go back and motivate our base. It is no secret that the base is disenchanted, and that is a risk factor to our re-election bid in October, and that we need to fix. And I think it's important for President. We are the standard bearer. Leave all the issues some of the people around you got with us. Please take an advice. Reach out. You are the president. I am not the one contesting. You are the president. You are the one who supported. You are the one we voted for. Reach out in good faith. Place phone calls strategically. Remend the broken fence with people who you have broken relationship with because of gossip from insignificant political individuals around you. Reach out to those people. Rebuild the relationship. Make use of their constituents come 2023 elections, so that we can have an issue of questionable election victory.
Thank you. Let's move over to Al Hussein. Al Hussein, you heard those gentlemen. If you didn't, I just said it to you. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. Discussing those political parties for me is a waste of time. I interviewed Jeremiah Wapu a couple of years ago. Look, we have a proliferation of political parties. But let me tell you something. I wish there will come a day in Liberia that will shut down all these things and reduce our political institution to at least 2 or 3. Because there's just nothing. Jeremiah Wapu, how many? I interviewed Jeremiah Wapu. I should still have tape going way back a couple of years ago. And as I thought then and now, these are not serious institutions. Honestly, in as much as we want to talk about them, they are registered political party. The UPP, since the demise of Gabriel Bako Matthew, even when he was alive, how far did they go? And now that he's dead, look, we do not have strong political institutions in Liberia. What we have is individual people that use a political institution to gain leverage to get jobs. So right now, if that little small party join with the other party, then they get one minister position, and that's the reason people get there. I don't know. It used to be. I don't know how much it is now. Go pay, register, any kind of political institution, sit on it for some time. So I would be concerned if we have bigger party like the Liberty Party. We're talking about Prince Johnson because he has a base. Few other political institutions. But other than that, these people barely made any percentage of the vote. We're talking about at least first, second tier, fourth, fifth, sixth place. Then you will be considered. But these people never even got any percentage for us to be discussing it. I think it's a waste of our time. They're not going anywhere. The CDC, look, this election is a referendum on George Weah 6 years rule. If it was good for the last 6 years, they won't be this struggling this much. The fact that they are struggling and looking strongly to grab any small party, it just to prove the base is to bring that optic that people are flooding towards it. I think that's the biggest thing the government can gain from this thing is that optics. Oh, you see, they're afraid everybody flooding up. But like I said, this is the silly season. Money flowing. Those guys that were left up for the last 6 years. This is the opportunity for some other people to get paid from part of the loot. Some people see it that way. Would that translate into vote October? I'm not sure. October, what would decide the election is, are you happy? Do people still trust this government? Are they going to believe in this thing? And for me, personally, as an individual, knowing what the CDC is, look, anybody that go into marriage with this CDC, you either fell down on your head as a kid, or you something wrong with you will need a brain transplant, because normally every normal sensible government will start their looting at the second term.
Most people, about that, man.
sorry, sorry, how do we talk? Yeah, most government will come in and try to do the best, and give the people like one of the political leaders usually say, Mr. Cummings, he said, leader eat last. Those guys ate first on the first term. Look, George Weah came to power barely 6 months. George Weah built a whole city. Your party built a whole city. I have never seen such a brave and bold political move in my life. This guy is daring. He doesn't even care. He doesn't respect the Liberian people. I don't think he even worry about anything. Look.
But you have money before you became president, though.
Well, what kind of money? My man, that thing have been very well. He had money. He should have built those structures before becoming president. George, you see, one of the things you have to realize.
30 seconds.
The president did declare his assets, and those assets are still available. And in those assets, he did not mention any of the money that it was enough to build a team. But look, everything that is going on in Liberia is an open secret. We know how many, we know who building what, we know who buying what land, and the Liberian people know. So you got a minister building a museum for him and say, oh, and I might get yourself. Look, even Michael Jackson don't even have a museum. I can need Bill. Who this guy that died from Apple? These are billionaires. Bill Gates. And it's a waste. It's just a flagrant disrespect to Liberian.
No, not Bill Gates.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Steve Jobs.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sorry,
you.
Steve
Okay,
Jobs.
30 seconds. We gotta go to Dr. Francis.
All right, yeah. So I will leave you at that. So I don't rather give those people credence, actually.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. So Dr. Francine.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because you're more concerned about students. I just got word from Dr. Wapo that he said he doesn't appreciate, you guys calling them, and it's only fair. That's what Spoon is here for. We give him the chance to respond. So we will get Diamond, good day, if you can hear me. Dr. Wapo is in the back, and I think Wazi and Fadiga teased him a bit. So he's set up now, and he wants to return the call.
Can we do it like this? Send a link to him. Since you have his contact, just send a link to him. You can just ask him, and then
I will do that. Dr. Francine.
Yes.
Over to you on the situation of the students, as I promised.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what happened today. You're just from a meeting. We saw it, Akara's grave. They say I shouldn't say kissing your forehead. Did you see the pictures?
Yes, I did. I didn't understand it.
Both of them having fun.
Yes.
They're laughing. It's funny. A lot of people got injured, property damage, and the photographs you're looking at. I mean, what can you say to that?
Well, it is very typical of what happens in our culture, in our country. Let bygone be bygone. That's what we saw today. We saw people who probably was responsible for damages, pain of student, trauma, of college shut down for an entire day, and there was some also consequences. Maybe students didn't even get back on the campus. But then we see two people laughing and joking and smiling as if nothing happened. What's going to happen to them? Who's going to reprimand them? We see the university suspending political activities on campus, depriving some of the students of their right to discuss politics on campus. They have to now find somewhere else to go, although that's a different topic, and we basically can talk about the pros and cons of that on maybe another day or maybe another time. But at this moment, nobody has said anything about what is going to happen to the people who contributed to this violence on campus. In another country, in a different world, this is going to be investigated in its entirety. In this country, at my university, the people who went on the campus will be called to book. The people who were on campus will be called to book. There'll be an independent investigation. There'll be an independent study, and there will be some recommendations, and action will be taken. It's not just, handshake and let bygone be bygone, so that we can prevent this situation from happening again. If this picture as we saw it where we see people laughing and joking and shaking hands, like after two siblings finish fighting, their parents they can't shake hands, it will happen again because nobody's been held responsible. So that's my thought on that. You muted or
Let me go to Samuel Woolsey. They all used to be chanting soups to that same. And Woolsey, the university is literally putting a suspension on student politics. And one of the questions everybody asking, will it work?
Well, I can tell you for sure, as a veteran of the Syrian Unification Party, that they're going to be in the coming days and weeks, intense engagement at the University of Liberia. Definitely, the Syrian Unification Party is not going to let this one go unnoticed. There are going to be a lot of activities that will call the attention of the international community. There could be, I'm afraid that there could be an attack on the president's vehicle and some other faculty members. And I want you to keep this, because I know the history of student politics in Liberia. People who keep underestimating the activities of student politics in Liberia seem not to understand how things work on the campuses of the Liberia University. Now, student political institutions are noted for building strong cross-institutional relationships. So if you stop them from practicing politics on the UL campus, they are going to move over maybe to AMEU or SDA, and they're going to cause havoc. And there is a record to that. On the other note, I think that the decision by the president of the university is belated and is unstrategic. Look, you could set up a committee of veterans to engage the student community and try to de-escalate, quote unquote, de-rate in engine terminology, the mounting tension, the wave of tension on the campus of the University of Liberia. I remember clearly during the leadership of Madame Salif, she had this strategic committee of veterans that she used to engage the student populace through them. We have not succeeded in doing that. Instead, we want to show our chest and test the power, the resolve of the students, which is a bad strategy. To come down and shut everything down, I think you only add in insult to injuries, and the student will react, because technically speaking, the government has got more to lose. Now, we invested a lot. So every time they create this scene, and then you show up to curb the situation, they will also cause more. And then when you beat on them, the international community will then say you are violating the rights of the students. So student politics is a right of the students, and I think they got the right to know how the national government works. And that is the biggest opportunity they have to
30
experience
seconds.
that is by getting involved with student politics. Me or the Simon Tour, the Nathaniel Magill, the C. McDoyen, the Akaras Goy, and the list continues. We are practicing student politics, and at different levels, different years, during our time. Even veteran Winston Tapper, who is at the EP, is a veteran of SUP. Even the president of the university. So they know that. So I think what they've done is just a sea of deception. So they need to put into place a practical mechanism, something that is mechanistic, that is predictable. That you can say, hey, we put into place this policy, and this is workable.
Thank you. Al Hussein, your take.
It is unfortunate. A party that benefited from soup is now trying to sell it. Look, I consider soup a fraternity organization, and it has been a long-standing tradition that they are carried on like this to every administration since the beginning of time. As we can recall, the CDC benefited from soup. They benefited from that disruptive behavior. It is so unfortunate that the government that's supposed to be pro-poor, a government that came from grassroots, will be the government that will disrupt and dissolve such an age-old institution. It shows that these guys love power. They have no intention of negotiating. They got no intention skill. It's either their way, the highway, or no way. It seems to come from a main like 12 playbook. And they always believe that they can fight things. And, if they don't want to do, we beat them to submission. This is what I'm saying. We beat them. And I think that government may have prevailed on the university to cancel it. But the thing about it, when you try to strangulate people and hold them back, they morph into different form, and they get stronger. And the resistance will only grow stronger because no political institution, even the military dictator that we had, did not think, even try to dissolve them. The only thing you can do, these are young kids. They are hopeless, destitute. They have no future. What do you expect them to do? These guys, the only work they need to do is to get up in the morning, go to school, and hustle. They have that resilience. They don't have much to live for besides going to school in a country that provide little for them. So they can do it. You're going to be worried about going to school. You're going to be worried going to work and your traffic being black and no foreign direct investment. What else do they have to lose? Besides getting up in the morning and
30 seconds.
and creating a media scene that will attract more international media, cause more chaos, and just give you headache. It just speaks to the ineptitude of this government. Because why will you be a ruling establishment with a lot to lose and sit down and take on these petty things that could be something? Ellen walked on the street as old as she was, got down from her car and negotiated with the young kids. Even your free tuition cannot stop these children from doing something. It just shows that you guys are just walking around with vanity, with misplaced priority, and this is the result. So I think it is unfortunate. I don't know whether it will work, but I think it will just make the children more bitter, more angry, and we should brace ourselves for more violence. Not that I condone it, but we should brace ourselves for it.
Well, thank you. You and Wozie pretty much said the same thing. There was darkness at the Capitol today. And hopefully Wozie tomorrow will play with, I will hope that Wozie will go back to the last budget year. If you all remember, we're on this platform and we said there was so much money for a bus, a generator, and for fuel. Look at the picture on your screen. That's the Capitol today, the Capitol building. Can you imagine that? So what happened to the money for fuel and for the generator? But while you will be looking at that, we had this bill that was passed, controversial pension bill. They're going to pay themselves 50% over a monthly period of the division of whatever it is. But I would like Joe the Plumber. You guys remember that name? What about Joe the Plumber? All of you guys going to get 50%. What will Joe the Plumber get? Dr. Francine, tell us what your thoughts are on this controversial pension bill for our senators, and our representatives, and our lawmakers, so to speak.
So, I will honestly say that I would like to...
And before you come in, let me let you know, what's more controversial about it also, it doesn't say, it just says retirement. Is it retirement when they finish flogging you? Or while you in office, you retire? Is it as a result of age? It's vague. It's not clear. Go ahead.
Yes, and exactly what you just said. This is what I would like to get more clarity on, those terms. What does it mean when someone is retired? Is it an age retirement thing, or is it just the amount of terms that you serve? But you make a very good point. Why I said that someone will lose an election, in many words, were fired by their constituent, because if you don't get elected by your constituent, that means that you are fired. So why would I fire you and on top of that pay you while you're home because I fire you? That is not how the system of job rewarding is supposed to work. It's not supposed to work in that way. Yes, there should be, if you have contribution that you're making to NASCAR, I believe the social security system in Liberia, that's fine. But in this case, they are saying that people who are getting fired should continue to receive benefits. So then what also happens to someone who leaves the legislature, and then after they get fired, they then go and work with another agency, like another branch of government? What happens to that person? Do they continue to receive pension while they're working in another branch of government? So I have lots of questions regarding this bill, and I want to seek more clarity on it at all. It's not a lot of things about it is not adding up for me at all.
Al, what your thoughts are? You are muted.
It is unfortunate, honestly. Look, there are so many things we have gotten wrong in our country that we need to get right. Honestly, in a perfect world, there are so many things that is happening in Liberia that just shouldn't be happening. I wish that we have. I don't know how it's going to happen. Either by force, somebody just come and dissolve that system and start over, or we have a commander in chief that will have the tenacity and that desire to put an end to what is going on. Because honestly, Liberia is bleeding, and the reason we are bleeding and we not get anything done is because we are so greedy and we have been stealing for ourselves. And this is what is happening. One, before I even get to this thing, we have a legislator or do nothing one that is overstaying. So they have no reason to even do the right thing. You have a senator that will be a two-term, or kid that is one or kid will be 18 years old on a one do nothing senator. So for 9 years to 9 years, so you got one representative that we have 16 years. Those things need to be cut down because it's making those guys to be. You get someone 9 years, what do they care? I can steal, I can pass bad legislation. So we need to first attack those things for make it right. The next thing is, why will we be rewarding people for draining the country and look, not doing a job? The reason why we have the legislature is because they have co-equal power to bring checks and balances to the executive. And these guys are not doing it. We have the opposition, the entire legislature. We have more opposition lawmakers in our place. That still could not prevent the removal of Cabinet Jani, the passage of Bokos. This is not only this government. Time immemorial, the passage of Bokos legislation, bad concession. Look at things like the Eto and Iboma loan. Those guys passed that law under Bokos. We're all doing any due diligence. Why are we paying them? And then you know something? If the rest of the country not getting it, why should they be getting it? Every Liberian getting this pension? Look, I think we need to call on one of the largest protests to actually start by reducing those guys' salary to almost what everybody else getting in the country. At least a minimum 3,000. And make it less attractive. Then people will rather start to do the job because we get it almost 15,000. Higher than almost in the United States and even anywhere in Africa. And it's still not doing nothing. Then they still want to compensate themselves again. And the Liberian people are sitting down there allowing these guys to enrich themselves for life because the compensation package that these guys are having, even in America, we that work, look, I used to work in a bank a couple of years ago and I used to see people receiving a pension. Pension, except when you had a good job, you get 3,000. But most people get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 the most, apart from Social Security. Social Security right now is around 950 for those that with a disability. And these guys are setting themselves up to live like not even minimum for Liberia. These guys are not even going to be living as middle income. These guys are going to be living luxuriously for the rest of their life for doing nothing. Passing bogus concession, doing everything, and we are sitting down there. I think it's about time we have a mass rally to fight that legislature. Because I think that's the only way. Except we have a commander in chief that will do it, or we encourage the citizens to get on the street. Do not start. In fact, go to the Capitol building, block that place, seal it off. You say we don't want you to work. Look, Liberia will do better if we take all the money we get to those legislatures. We'll do better by just canceling that whole thing for the next 5 years. Take that money and put it in school, put it in healthcare, we'll do better. When we decide something, we'll go call the chief.
I'm a
The
first
chief
time
then will
seeing
say that.
Al Hussein like that. You too fire up. Calm down.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just angry. What are
You
these guys doing?
I
What
saw
are they
that.
doing in the country?
They call them one man EO.
What are they doing? To keep
we
gearing
got
themselves,
Dr. Wako in the back.
It's just greed.
And, I will interrupt Wozi when he's brought on. But Wozi, you heard it. You heard what the legislators are doing. What they're going to get. What says thou?
Fagon, look, it's actually unfortunate. It's clear that our system is what I term as a beset of policy anomalies. There are a lot of policy compromises. There are a lot of laws and other regulations we have in place that are not helping the vast majority of the Liberian populace, and which is unfortunate. Going back to the time of President Sirleaf, I remember a statistics from the National Investment Commission that the legislature approved about 66 bogus concession agreements. Now, you tend to ask yourself, what resulted to such a bad legislative practice? And the answer is simple. People sell out easily. And Hussein, I would like to go back to what Fadiga said. You got more opposition lawmakers. So is it President Weah? The answer is no. So then it makes it difficult for people to keep blaming President Weah for all the problems in the country. When the lawmakers themselves, most of whom are, quote unquote, opposition lawmakers, are in full support of bad laws or bad policies. Now, it is not a bad thing to apportion some money for the retirement of legislators, whether they get defeated or they decide not to recontest. But to give them whooping amounts that are unimaginable, that is more than 2,000% higher than any benefit that any long-serving civil servant has ever received or will ever get. That is ridiculous. It is totally evil, and I think it's it's indescribable. So
Let me
that's a bad.
Let me hold you there since your internet is a little better. Dr. Jeremiah Wapo, welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right. You were listening to the program. Somehow you went off. Two of my colleagues on the panel said that the majority of the parties being sought after, to include yours, let me quote them, insignificant numerically, not politically, but numerically. But before you respond to that, you are now on. Tell our audience your full name, the party you represent, any other thing you have to tell us before the answer.
We can hear you.
Your microphone is muted. Look down at the bottom of your screen. If it's red, tap on it, please.
Okay, Honorable Fagon, I am Dr. Jeremiah Z. Wapo. I'm from the Vision for Liberia Transformation Party. I'm now going to do, can you hear me?
Yes, oh yeah.
Well, maybe it's the network, but I can hear you a little bit. But what I was saying is that my name is Jeremiah Wapo. Okay, I am from the Vision for Liberia Transformation Party.
The internet.
Maybe he just placed a call instead of coming on live.
The phone lines are giving problem, and but go ahead. We'll get back to him.
Yeah. So
finish off so we can tap up to our people.
Yeah. So the legislators, we have to understand that in as much as it would be a good idea for them to apportion something in the budget, it would be a good thing for them to look at the minimum wage bill and try to step up the pay of the civil servants in the country. Because when you are retired, most of them not doing anything in the house. They're not providing. They're not calling for the review of some of the bylaws. They are not even submitting bills for enactment. They are not providing adequate
Let me
supervision.
hold you there since he's experiencing this problem. Dr. Wapo, are you back with us? Tap on your microphone if you are muted.
Yes, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go
Yes.
ahead. We can hear you loud and clear.
I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
No, I am not muted.
Go
I
ahead.
can hear you, but I am not muted from this, and I can hear you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. As I was saying, I'm Dr. Wapo from the Vision for Liberia Transformation Party. And I am not going to be disrespectful to the panels as two colleagues of yours describe our political parties as insignificant. Honorable Fagon, you want to be professional by saying that you say we are insignificant in the every political party in Liberia.
You know, in Liberia is the only place you have this situation where, in my opinion, that people that are bent on, you want to have your voices heard, but then you don't want other people's voices to be heard. You will employ all kinds of technique to bring them down. How do I know this? Go back. MTN filed a lawsuit against Orange for messing up their coverage since 2017 to about 2020, 2021, using a hacker that they paid over $30,000. And guess what? He was just recently, last month, sentenced in Great Britain to 32 months in prison with millions of dollars in fines against Orange. Why do they do this thing? You know, why the Papa name? Nangbe Slaw, right? Was he? He used to say, Toya, let me tell my I don't understand them. But again, I will let you close on that note. James Goodday will need our people. And sometimes two people are disrupted by the phone call if you're using your phone gadget. But anyway, we'll get Dr. Wapo. Are you there? Dr. Wapo, can you hear us? Can you hear us? If you're not muted.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, as I was saying, I'm going to remain respectful to your partners. I will not be disrespectful as your two colleagues did about calling political parties in Liberia insignificant political party. Of course, you try to massage it by saying that he said numerically, but it is a number that make political party. And every political party in Liberia have the same threshold that they pass in will maintain our political institution. If this Jeremiah Wapo Vision for Liberia Transformation Party was not significant, it wouldn't have been endorsed by Grand Cape County for the presidency. If this political party was insignificant, as you claim, it was not going to be endorsed by Bombing County for the presidency. If this
Okay, we'll try to get him in studio. I think that's the best thing we will do. But Good day, are you there?
Come on, get in there so we can give peace our mouth.
Well, you ever Dr. Wapo?
I mean, and I interview that man plenty of time. Let me tell you
But
something.
I
got all his numbers here.
You will tell your own. He will tell his own.
Yeah, I got his numbers here for you.
Fagon, we're not waste our time to talk about justifying the issue of relevance, the issue of significant or insignificant, because we're providing the statistical basis. So that,
okay,
I mean,
let's agree you provided the statistical basis for your argument. But we're going to listen to him and see what the situation is there. Dr. Wapo, are you there again? James Goodday, can you bring us up to speed with phone calls?
Yes, I hear. I think, gentlemen, Yeah. My phone is on do not disturb. I don't know what happened to the network, but the gentleman there, he continues to use those derogatory statements. You have to be careful when you are in the public spheres and
No,
analyzing
it's not
issues.
derogatory.
You
That's a
have to be
waffle. Go
respectful
ahead.
of people at
Go
all
ahead
times.
with your point.
You cannot say you're wasting your time after you make claim on political institution, established political institution in Liberia. So as I was saying, give me a chance. As I was saying, if our party were insignificant as you claim.
Okay, we lost him again. So we're going to try to get
I
him
don't
in
think the
studio.
man understand the word, the meaning of the word insignificant. Insignificant.
Yeah, I did.
I
They
don't
don't.
think anything is. I mean, we can read the dictionary. I just pulled a definition. Oh yeah, insignificant.
Yeah, but let's be fair to ourselves.
What?
If you say someone's political party is insignificant, it either means to the political arena, either numerically, or they're zero.
No, don't put words in my mouth. I mean insignificant. I mean too small, unimportant to be worth consideration. Worth consideration.
So that's
Lower
why I
segment
push
of the
back
pie.
to Ozzy.
Power or influence. That's the dictionary
that's why I
definition.
push back to
I got no
Ozzy.
number there. When I put a number there, that one we just put it because
So
he got
I asked Ozzy,
25%. Number
hold on.
18.
Hold on. If these
So
if these political parties are insignificant, why are you chasing them?
I just told you why.
So you asking me?
No, let's hear from Fadiga first. If they're insignificant,
Mr. Wapo, the internet giving chance. Not give a man chance. There you come there.
Let Mr. Wapo, let Dr. Wapo learn first because he's a presidential candidate or aspirant.
okay. So let him learn, and then we move on. Go ahead, unmute yourself, sir. Just go ahead. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Well, I'm very sorry that we are having connection problem in Liberia. But what I can tell him in short is this: if you think the political parties that you claim as,
I think somebody is hitting him. Let's be honest.
Okay,
no, somebody is hitting the guy.
Because I mean, brother put in her.
Yeah.
Minister Fagon,
Let him make call the
ask him whether he has WhatsApp number so I can call him on WhatsApp.
Very
What's
good.
that number there?
Yeah, call that man.
The internet is not working. WhatsApp will go through again.
You
I
really
don't know.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp will
No,
go
the
through.
video
Because,
density.
Let
All
me
right,
tell you
let me call
something. WhatsApp, the Liberian people can break WhatsApp. I'm speaking for informed decision.
It is encrypted.
So call WhatsApp. You will see
That's
there won't be a
true.
war.
That's true. I see international line. Oh, what is that on the screen here?
Yeah, we'll come to call him for the land.
Okay.
Yeah, call him on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So, okay, Alfadiga, he makes a very salient point. If his party is
The man
insignificant,
there now.
why are you chasing him?
I'm not chasing him. The CDC know why they're chasing him. Look.
Okay,
the
but then you
CDC
got no fish to
Look,
fry.
hold on now. The CDC is chasing everything out there because they want to create this optics. They want to make it seem like people are flooding towards it. It doesn't matter how many people. What is important is if LP that has almost 150,000 votes chase you, I know that you have a significant, not insignificant party. But if you have a party that got 0.25%, that came number 18 in the election, that got 3,946 votes, I mean, how significant are you? I'm hearing sound. I think Mr. Wapo listen to me. Yeah, you gotta mute that to Wapo.
We'll have to try this another day.
I did not make up the number. Sorry. I did
Okay,
not make up
fine.
the
If
number.
James
I wish
gets
it were
in-
better. I wish we didn't have all the political parties to be wasting our time. Because they all have the same platform. I
Okay,
don't see anything different.
all right, so fine. I'm going to go to Wozi. If his party is insignificant, why are you chasing him?
Well, as a sedition, I just told you from the beginning I don't see any reason why my friends were at their party licking their mouth, dancing, raising our best battle cries. They were wasting battle cries for nothing because we could raise the battle cries at a serious program instead of as such an unserious program.
So then we take it that his party is significant
Yeah.
then.
So from that contest, there could be a justification for that, and I will really wish that I will bring one of my colleagues here to come and tell us why they were all dancing there, wore some of the bare clothing, and they were all just jumping all over the place. So I was, in fact, when I saw the, my television was there. So when I got a notification, I thought it was Yaka Koluba or Senator Prince Johnson who have come back to the CDC, or maybe Costa or somebody in the country with some numbers joining the CDC. But when I look at the list, I saw ULD, some of the most unwanted parties, BLT, PLP. What are you talking about? What are you celebrating? So we have a base already that is big, but the base is disenchanted. Go and make your people happy. You already got a vote. Why are you making your own people vex? Then you're looking for something that you got no reason looking for. Go and make peace with your people that feel betrayed or disappointed or left out or marginalized or suppressed. Bring them back on board.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. We'll get Dr. Fancy the last word. Okay, James Goodell said he got him on the line.
He's not picking.
All right, we're going to move on. James, do you have any number to announce for callers while Dr. Fancy make her case?
When we just focus on the optics, like, okay, we're going to get these smaller parties to say that we have the number and to say that we are a powerful party, it just tells us the mentality of the type of leadership government that we have, the type of leaders that we have in the government. Instead of talking about how can we bring people together that have ideas that will contribute to develop our country, we are sitting down here talking about numbers and other parties that we have brought together just for the sake of numbers, not for the sake of ideas that we can put together for the interest of our people. And it just sort of bothers me. Is this popularity contest bothers me a whole lot. I know some people will say, oh, you need numbers to win. Yes, you do. If we had maybe a system of government that was very well developed and advanced like in other countries, yes, I would agree. But we do not. We have a failing democracy. We have a government that needs help, that needs ideas, that needs development, that needs people to come together with great ideas. So this popularity thing work in advanced democracy, not in the kind of democracy that we have. So that's all I wanted to add.
James Goodell, can we bring the lines in?
Okay, this is Dr. Wapo, Jeremiah Wapo from the Vision for Liberia Transformation Party. Is on the Fagon on?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I was trying to make clarification on that gentleman who is being very respectful to political parties in Liberia by calling them insignificant political parties. Any party that passes through the threshold of the Liberian National Election Commission meets with every standard that the party you call big political party, like so-called CDC, is a big political party that you pass through the same threshold. If the party, if one party is claims to be insignificant, the party will be insignificant. Whether insignificant as it claims, we're not going to be endorsed by Bombay County to be for the presidency. We're not instability as it claims, we're not going to be endorsed by Buffalo County. And as we speak, on the 24th of this month, the vote party is going to be endorsed in the city of Ganta, Gonfa City, Diva County on the 24th.
How many votes did you get in this county? I'm
sorry that he's not informed about Liberian politics because why he's explaining certain numbers from past election is like when he was born as a child, he's still a child up till now. He says talking milk from his mommy. I don't think that's the case. When you are born as a child, when you grow up as a child and you become mature. So the numbers that he claimed it was the genesis of our political party. Which of course, yes, every political CDC that is supposed to be CDC was to come out as a winner CDC, no election 2 times. That was any other political party in Liberia. No one political party in the history of Liberia was established in very year and won election at very year. So if he claims that our party is insignificant, because we did not get a normal screening today, then you want to show coming this election. What we can tell you that we are going to military in CDC because when we came to power, we promised the Liberian people we were going to transform Liberia through agriculture. And besides promising them during the election, today our party is the biggest farming political party in Liberia. No other political party does. He has his Senate House and representatives in the House of Legislature. That one of them take $30,000 for agriculture break. That one of them has a guardian. For the Green Party, we are not going into Liberian governance process, but we promise the Liberian food and we are delivering. That's what they call governance. So if he will bring us as insignificant political party, let him see our whole man in Liberia. Then you know we are not desperate to become president of Liberia. We are not desperate. Those who are desperate, those are the ones that walking on the university campus and beating students and killing students around. They are the desperate people. We are not desperate. The desperate people are those that when you see our daughters, our sons and daughters, they are in the sea, their past can disappear. And the government refuses to investigate those cases. Those are the desperate people. We are not desperate. The desperate people are those who went to Council Gabriel Moses Scott House under the watchful eye of the national security. Under the watchful eye of the national security until today, we are not getting one corporate. Those are the desperate people. We are not desperate. What we are here for is to transform Nigerian people, the lifestyle, the trap of poverty they have been trapped in for 4 years. We want to release them from that type of poverty. That's why we make it incremental progress in Liberia. But why we clean CDC that is a hooligan institution of hooligan, we clean it to be a significant party in Liberia. That's the charity I wanted to make to him.
Oh, so that we don't want you causing an answer.
No. Thank you very much. Let me ask you this. You said earlier on that if you die and come back 1,500 times, you guys will never be a part of the CDC. Can you elaborate quickly on that?
Yes. Under no condition, the vision for Liberia Transformation Party that has been labeled in Liberia as a responsible political party that has responsible leaders under my watch that will go and join CDC. CDC is not a party. CDC is an institution of hooliganism. There is not a political party for people like me to take their institution and join. No way. If I can die 1,500 times, if I can have them placed in the DNA of the book party, that anybody that associate themselves with CDC can be friendly with them. We don't want our hands to get in water. We are responsible people. We are people of ethics. We are people that care for the Liberian people. Under no condition, number one, that today's bishop of Liberian Transformation Party will even have a dinner with CDC, not alone to join CDC. No way, it won't happen.
Dr. Francine, any question for Dr. Wapo?
I again, going away from the numerical significance, have his party addressed publicly by going on the radio, speaking to Liberian people about their displeasure, dislike for all the violence that's happening on the campus. Have they done something as a party? Have we heard them speak out for the Liberian people?
And the answer to your question is yes. We've done it. We've made press releases. We have press conference. We've done it. We put press releases to various radio stations and denounce that attitude and say that the University of Liberia is not a military barracks. It's not a restaurant for Accra to go to. He's going for lunch on the University campus. The University campus is not a restaurant to go there for lunch. He was wrong to go there and he remains wrong. And the government of Liberia to having arrested and processing him for the attitude that he exhibited on the University campus. That is an institution of intelligentsia. It's not an institution of hooliganism. For them, that they will make press releases on that.
Thank you.
Dr. Honorable Alpha Diga, do you have a question so that we can move to the phone lines? You are closing.
Dr. Wapo, I know that no one political institution will win an election in Liberia. Are you guys planning on joining any political institution? And if so, which party would that be? Which institution?
Well, to admit our political party is strong, we believe that we can win the election. However, our main reasons of existence right now is to rescue Liberia from on George Weah, who is in to lead this country here in the CDC. So any political institution that has the sheer value, the sheer interest of the Liberian people that willing to work with us, we'll work with them. We are discussing with political institutions around potential collaboration, but until that is done, we cannot speak on it. But there's a possibility because our ultimate goal is to make sure that we get rid of George Weah so he can be the one-term president. So whatsoever resources that we can put together to rescue Liberia will rescue Liberia. Because other than that, they will make mistakes and get George Weah chance. The next regime will be a looting regime. They will loot and continue to loot them and make this country as empty as it is. We cannot be so egotistic on this. I told you earlier, I'm not desperate to become president. What I'm desperate for is to make sure that we release Liberia from the trap of poverty that we are in today.
Thank you.
Samuel Wozi, do you have a question for Dr. Wapo, Sam?
Well, yeah, Dr. Wapo, thanks so much. I think we met before sometime back in Liberia briefly. I just like to ask you if you will, at this time, honor an invitation or accept an invitation from President Josh Weah if you were called now to show up at maybe the executive mansion or the CDC headquarters to strategically discuss ahead of 2023 elections.
You mean to sit down with who, Josh Weah?
Yeah.
Is that your question? No. Under no condition I'm going to go sit down with somebody of senior leadership. I can't do that. We're trying for the genesis of their administration. We invested. We took $20 million contract to the executive mansion to discuss. Natana Manje and Georgia threw the contract out. We intended to create jobs for the Liberian people, and they threw that out. Under no condition,
So your issue is personal. It's because so your issue is corporate related. It's personal and not in the interest of the Liberian people. It's business related.
It is not personal. The idea is that Georgia leadership is not a leadership that listens to the people.
So if you accept your agriculture project,
he doesn't want to take the free. We tried in the past, we tried more than one, more than twice. The whole way. So why would we do it right now? And let me tell you something. When you do one thing, it's this and the thing. You will get a same result. That is the clear definition of schizophrenia. We are not schizophrenic to do one thing again and again and get different results. We are trying once, twice, and then one. Why do you think it works now when it's about to lead the presidency? We will not do it. Serious. We won't do it.
Is it because of the $20 million project that you are angry?
I am not angry. The idea is that I'm not angry. I'm outraged right now because a gentleman who has given a public platform taking care that every political party in Nigeria, every political party passes through a free threshold to obtain the startup of a political party. When you say that for any political party calling it insignificant political party, that outraged me. I'm not vexed. I'm outraged.
All
right, we'll go to good day.
What is happening like this? You speak as if to say, send his mother gave birth to me, he still talking to me for his mother chest. And that's not the case. I think he has grown. And if I to any political party is considering insignificant political party, small political party, that we were for the insignificant state and grew up to it. The same thing that happened to the same CDC that is supposed to do, the same thing happened to the company that belongs to all these countries. So it happens to every political party. Not one political party ever been registered in Nigeria, and for that moment, we won election. So you should know that well. And because we were there yesterday, we will not be there today. That's why Nigerian people have seen our Americans and we continue to indulge our television. I'm inviting the phone TV. Follow me to Bumper today, just coming 24. Next week Friday will be in Ghana. And you see the indulgence we will see. When you move on there, you will never call any political party in Nigeria insignificant political party.
We accept that challenge, and I will go over to Good Day. Good Day, do you have a final question?
Okay. Mr. Jeremiah Wapo, the last election you got.
Dr. Jeremiah Wapo, please.
I will request that you call me. If you want to call me Jeremiah Wapo, call me Jeremiah Wapo. But you want to put title on it, I'm Dr. Wapo, please.
Thank you.
All right, I don't want to get into the doctor debate. I accept Dr. Jeremiah Wapo.
It's a great fun, but I would like to be called Jeremiah or Wapo, or if you want to put title, it's Dr. Wapo.
All right, we will debate on the doctor next time. Dr. Wapo.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your question.
the last election you got 3,946. That is 0.25%. Where in this world do you think people would take a political party that got 0.25 to be a significant party in terms of getting to the presidency?
Well, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you didn't say that during the last election you did not get any vote. If you were a statistics student, I would tell you the number you just called statistically after a certain period of time, and the progress continue. What does it produce? Statistically, five number, the number 5 in statistics. When you do projection, what does it project? So I will urge you to go and do projection on that number after 6 years, and what will produce and what will continue to do in Liberia. So the idea that we got whatever number you call it last election, today we are saying it's a little bit. I think you just have a little bit of myopic thinking. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way you think right now. It's very small. Your minds are not open because I know you are seditious also. So your minds are not open. What you call, so insignificant. What are you doing telling us? Why you lying on us that we're supporting you? We are insignificant, so why you lying? Why you lying that we're supporting you? So we are so insignificant, we're not significant to your sources, to your winning. Why are you chasing us? Tell your people let them leave us alone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wapo, and it was great having you. We look forward to having you in the studio. Your final thoughts to your partisans out there.
I have a question.
Thank you very much. I look forward to appearing anytime.
Can I ask you one last question?
Go ahead, Dr. Chino.
Will he support Jeremiah Kuhn as vice president on a ticket?
He gone off.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe another time. Ask him.
As moderator, I must say this. He did a good job. He came on, the other gentleman from UPP, and that's how we encourage all of our political leaders and people within political parties. This is also your platform. Don't run away. Come here. Don't wait for us to be jammed with time. Then you put my man, I can't talk. You were not told. We give preference to the people who are talking now. But good day. Are you aware that our election said 50% plus just one for the presidency? And the man gets 3,000 plus votes, even 2%. Are you aware that when Boaka and that man and Jowia, or Cummins and Boaka, or Cummins and we are, when they hit 49-49 in the second round, are you aware that Wapo you'll be looking for? So I'm trying to say, my colleagues here, you know, they're on the platform.
Oh,
they got to tease people.
Minister Fagon, don't say that. Don't go there.
Okay, so I ask you now, just answer my question. To win the presidency, what number do you need to win the Liberian presidency?
I'm sorry. I beg to do this.
Where I ask you, don't give me lecture. The question is direct. What number or percentage do you need to win the Liberian presidency?
And you were the very person who sat on the same platform and look at 28,000, the 1.8, you look at 28,000, you said that insignificant number when they joined the CDC.
We're making comparison to the other parties. Don't forget. We're not making comparison to whether they can win.
Let me just come in small.
So James got to answer the question. Wait. My man, that's why I left for that offensive to moderate. So say I'm moderating, I will catch Jim. James I said 28,000. I was comparing it to Liberty Party, comparing it to ANC, comparing it to the other parties. I didn't say it was insignificant to win. Compared to James, he said, who should take you seriously when it comes to winning the presidency? I am saying, what number do you need to win the presidency?
50 plus 1.
The man got 3,000 plus 1 alone that he put a head there. He can be significant. That's the point I'm trying to raise. But with the time at 6:26, And Dr. Franciscan is 4 minutes away from coming on. Guys, let's take 1 minute for that begin run from the back. I'll start with Alpha Diga, your closing.
Well, my closing is I don't think the good old doctor understands the meaning of insignificance.
You want to call a friend with it, man. You find
I've interviewed that guy many times back
now
in
your old friend.
And the thing about it is it saddens me that we have so many political institutions that are just in a way when we could be discussing. Look, we got 20, I think 23, I don't know how many, but it was 20 some more political institutions. Jeremiah Wapukin, number 18 in the last election. He's saying that he has go up at me. Even if we do any kind of projection, at 18, number 18 on the list, why will you leave all the other 17 are ahead of you? They're projecting too. So I don't know what you have done or what you will do that will change that. But the bottom line here is, it's not a secret which political party are relevant. Right now, you talk about the CPP, you talk about the UP, you talk about the CDC. Every other thing else, nobody really talking about it. And it's not because we don't want to talk about it, it's because the rest are irrelevant. They do not have enough number to be considered relevant. Yeah, they are there, but they're just there in number. And the 50
So wait. I gotta hold you there as moderator. CPP, UP, CDC, the rest irrelevant. You say
no. People watching my mouth. No, I'm not saying that they are irrelevant.
Okay, but what about MDR?
The MDR, he has a base. MDR got 147,000 votes.
Voila.
147,000, that's a significant party. I mean, you know how many times you can get 3,000 from 141,000?
Not mad for you, not for me.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
30 seconds.
You know how many times. So the thing is,
but I want you to use 15 seconds and hold another 1 minute so that James can go to the phone line at least for 5 international calls, if you don't mind. James, put a number on the screen while Fadika.
Let me just say this one thing here. Meeting the criteria and register, how much, if you are not carrying on, how much to register one political party? Anybody can go and register a political party in that, bro. It doesn't mean that party is significant, but they just want to be part of the numbers. And what do? At the end of the day, they sell themselves to another bigger party for seat. So this has been a way to get job. This has been a way for people to get job indirectly in our politics. It's not a secret. It's an open secret. But what we need to know is that I wish we'll come to the time in Liberia where we reduce it to at least 3 or 4, because all this thing is democracy.
All right, folks, you see WhatsApp number over there, but the number is still the same. So if you have a US number, you can still just dial 954-795-6664. But if you're calling from Liberia or elsewhere, then you have to use it as a WhatsApp number. Dr. Francine has agreed to allow 5 calls. James, do you have a call? Call us, you can begin to call, and then we'll go from there. The number is on your screen. Just make the call, and he will put you through. James won't be picking between the call, who the ladies calling and this up. Don't take nobody number. You are muted. We're not hearing you.
Hello. Let me see if I'm sorry. I'm trying to get connected. Yeah, continue. As soon as I get called, they will come through.
Okay, so we'll go to Dr. Francine, and then you hold the caller so that when I begin Kawasa, they can just run with him by himself.
That's true. That's true. It's almost time for him to come.
Make it Kawasa. Zach says, tell it, Dr. Francine, go ahead. I'll make it Kawasa.
So, I want to begin my closing by just asking you guys to join me to please tell my last button on Joe Court a happy birthday. Today is her birthday. Yes, she actually takes care of my grandson to allow me to be here when he comes from school until my husband gets home. But today is her birthday, so I want you guys to please shout out and tell her a happy birthday. And I want you to know, Lorraine, that we love you very much as a family. I pray that God, our orders your step for you to complete all that you endeavor to do. So I'll go to my closing right now. We started this conversation when I saw you guys talking about the situation, the violence that occurred at the university. I am happy for the investigation, although it's a day late, a dollar short in my mind. Again, the government is been it's been reactive as opposed to being proactive and preventing these things. I'm also concerned about this type of selective solution. The selective solution, we're going to suspend the students from engaging in politics on campus. What about doing a whole?
Hello.
I think James, good day. I think it would be good for you to let us know when there's somebody's coming in so we can be quiet as a
No, sorry, it just came in abruptly.
Okay.
Hello.
Can I hear my own?
Yeah, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, hi. My name is Fagon James. I'm calling from Minnesota. I want to contribute to the show. Yesterday, you guys were on Akara's grave, bashing on him that he's trying to steer the peace process in our country. But I guess today, you guys listening to Honorable Yeka Cordova talking about going back to the jazz days, dividing our countries. Yeah, up to now, I haven't heard any of you guys talking anything about that. So that's my concern.
All right, thank you. All right. That already go ahead and conclude. Sorry.
So I'm looking for a holistic investigation that will speak to all parties that are involved. For example, speak to the people who were opening the gates for Representative Gray to come in, the police, the security system at the university. I want them to speak to administrators to review their safety plans, and so. Then we moved on to talk about suspending the students. University students are the bedrock for politics and good governance and good citizenship for the future. How are citizens supposed to behave in the future? And so when we suspend politics, although I think there has to be a good balance at the university, I think at this time perhaps politics is taking a center of force right now at the university, as opposed to other subjects like science and math and technology courses. So I think this is what the resolution should be: having a way where the students can engage in politics, or as well as engaging in some significant other courses like science and math. So I think all of these things is what the university administrators and the government should be looking at. Lastly, this whole thing
James,
about
mute yourself, James.
The call. I hold our call for that.
The whole thing about popularity and numbers and what is significant or not. Again, I want to state we are not at that place in our democracy. At this time, our country needs ideas, people to contribute to the development of our country. So I'm asking Liberians to stop voting for this whole popularity thing, or stop asking who's going to join who party because of their optics, or because of their exchange of money, or because of their exchange of job. Vote for someone and appreciate people who can contribute to ideas that will build our country, and I rest on that point.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hey, good day. This is Lofa. I just want to chime in and highlight something that was mentioned by one of your panelists, Samuel Woolsey, whatever his name may be, or however you pronounce it. Sometimes when we are opportune to sit on these platforms, especially in a country where a lot of people listen to us, let us be very cognizant of the fact that our utterances must be fine-tuned to what our people would like to hear. His statement on the fact that students from the university will attack the president's vehicle is so disheartening for a self-proclaimed learned man. that in itself could put these young people's life at risk when he had no evidence to prove that that is a possibility or that is something that is even planned. Let us be very mindful of the kind of things we say. For Christ in heaven's sake, young people over there may have no intention of doing such a thing, but his statement out there will put these young people's lives at risk, even if they were to just decide to simply protest in a peaceful manner. The police could probably go at them and they could brutalize innocent people and say one former sedition or sedition said that there's a possibility of the president's vehicle being attacked. And then what we have to say, we go right back to the lives of Gray and other people now again coming with the same.
All right, let's get another
Thank
call.
you. We'll go over to Wozy for his closing.
Hello?
Ends the call, unless you.
Hello?
Call's finished?
Oh, let's take the last caller.
Yeah, name it. Where you calling from?
Hello? Well, this is James Flumolasa calling from the state of Maryland. And I'm just calling to make a very simple point, but rather very pointedly as well. I don't think it was right for panelists on the show. I mean, they could choose to discuss such a topic very briefly, but they shouldn't have, spend a lot of time on the issue of whether a party is significant or insignificant, especially if they have a guest on the show whose presence has to do a lot with the show. I think that was a little bit confrontational or controversial. I think that should be avoided. It shows kind of some level of arrogance. But look, I want to bring to the attention of the panel what is happening in the country right now. The Election Commission has started violating the rules in many ways. The census has not been presented formally to the legislature, nor has it been approved by the legislature. But they have started redistricting, taking certain polling places and putting in different districts to favor CDC incumbent members. For example, District 15, I want to say Abu Kamara is not popular in the Kawa area. They took those polling places and put them in District 11. That is redistricting. There is no legal basis for that. We need to challenge that. It's a pity that those in the opposition are all either very weak or naive or incompetent that they have not started putting up, opposition to these measures. I'm talking to all opposition leaders, all of them. None of them, So that's the point I want to stress. And thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Gude. And just so the caller knows, that is referred to in politics as gerrymandering. Having said that, we intend to hit the NEC tomorrow. We'll be discussing them hard here because they made an appearance and they said by midnight tonight, they should have had $10 million in their account. And up to today, $1 was not there. So we're just putting stuff together for them tomorrow. You can come back and we'll be discussing it. So I'll go to Wozy. Wozy, a lot of stones were thrown at you, but see if you can condense it in like 2 minutes.
Well, quite frankly, the voice, the guy who just called, I think he got some issues. But I'm not sure if he's in a very normal environment. It should be one of those regular guys who sit at entertainment spot and just drink and talk in America. Because I told he did not understand what I said. I said, looking at the history of the Student Unification Party, the possibility is that there could be an attack on the president. It happened before when the late Dr. Was it not Weeks, but the old man who passed before Dr. Weeks took over.
Sayer?
No, not Sayer. I will get the name. A popular doctor from the medicine, the School of Medicine, who was at the university. He came up with a policy during President Salih's time. And then Soup responded by stopping him by closing the gates in front of his vehicle. And in fact, they asked him to get down out of his car, and the police had to intervene. So we are looking at the history of student politics in Liberia. So for some of you in America who just hear telephone be calling around, y'all follow history. Y'all take time to read and stop the regular weekend alcoholism so that you guys can be informed. So that's just the answer.
I think we should be careful. It's not. I know how you feel, but
no, I'm coming. But let me hold you there. To call on a show and try to be personal, I think he need to take that back and never call the show again to make such a comment in such a way. You can address the panel as if we don't know what we're talking about. That's unfair to this show. On the other note, the other brother talked about the CDC doing what you call gerrymandering. Now, I can speak to that because I am not a representative of the National Elections Commission on this platform. So I think it would be a good idea for us to invite the leadership of the NEC to speak to some of those issues. Is important because when we talk about, I know lawmakers sometimes use their influence to do a lot of things behind the scene. And the Kawa area is a big area, and that is just one. You have 73 districts. Currently, the NDC constituency distribution by district, the district distribution is about 73. Now that the number has increased, one would assume that maybe if the census result is accepted, there will be redistribution of districts. The numbers will be spread out, and maybe the threshold will increase from what it is now, and which could possibly result into the creation of new districts. And these are all part of the battle of democracy. So I just want our people to be patient, and it's so early for us to start blaming one political party for making an attempt to cheat. I think we should approach this issue smartly instead of just throwing our allegations.
So if it's true that the legislature have not passed on the census, that the data is not available, nobody is seeing anything, if and only if it is true that they've already started the process, do you think they should be doing that?
Well, I mean, it is an unconfirmed report. He just called the show.
That's why I'm saying if and only if it is true, do you think they should be doing that?
Well, assuming that it's not true, it's needless to discuss since we don't have evidence to prove that.
You got a point there. So we'll wait till tomorrow and see where we are.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to thank all of the callers. I want to encourage our many listeners out there to keep following the program. We're doing this for Liberia. I am CEO of my own media conglomerate, but I'm here contributing to Spoon Talk. And so we want to encourage people from the ruling party, my party, and from the opposition, from different sections of the Liberian society.
That one. The ruling party, my party, meaning the ruling party different from your party. That's good.
No, my party, I mean that ruling party.
You said that we got it recorded already and we play as a jingle.
Yeah, I mean the ruling party combined. Now, so we want people to keep following and making contribution. Those who think this is an opposition platform, it is not. For those who have personal issue against people here, they need to let it go and let us discuss Liberia, because Liberia is our common patrimony. Today, CDC is in power. Tomorrow, it could be another party. So on we go. So we got to look at the bigger picture instead of personal issues. People may not be happy to see some of us around or other people around, but we all need to focus on the bigger picture, which is Liberia, and that discuss in a way that will result to peaceful coexistence, that will not cause our country to go back into the bad days, and let us speak to the issues and not personalities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wazi. I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. You said on we go, but you forgot the beginning. I am in. Go on. Is he to go on? Is he to go in? No, he is to go on. On we go. So if you say on we go, then you got to tell us who in. Do you tell us who in? So like that.
Well, things will be synchronized in due time.
Thank you, Dr. Francis. You are muted. You are muted, Dr. Francis.
No, so y'all synchronize the SSO and Elalu.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
But then I wouldn't want to sing the national anthem. Enjoy, 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 enjoy.
Tell them, my grandson coming. Bye.
Thank you, all Liberians, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same platform. Thank you.
Problem, all the citizens they put pay money in government account, whether by taxes or what you pay. Who never can rack out for that money? They all put that right. So
you see, good day. The time we live in, I tell you, bring a sweet tea. You want your own. You want your own good day.
All right, folks. See you again. tomorrow the team will be here to continue with another edition. Until then, have yourself a great time.